What's up, everybody? What's up, MGTOW? So, today I wanted to talk real quick about predictive programming in movies, and specifically in the movie Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Now, I recently rewatched this movie because Kevin Smith, the director, is actually about to come out with a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob, and I especially liked Clerks. So I watched Chasing Amy because I never saw that before, and the plot of that is pretty interesting. Spoiler alerts here, definitely in this video, but on the LGBTQA whatever agenda, it's definitely an interesting movie because in Chasing Amy, it kind of starts off with a more kind of heterosexual fantasy of a guy turning a lesbian straight, but then the film ends with, instead of the heterosexual guy turning the lesbian straight, he turns gay, which was a kind of surprise ending to me. But now looking back at late 90s, early 2000 movies, you can definitely see the agenda in there. So when I was rewatching Jay and Silent Bob, it very quickly became apparent that there is some level of either prediction or predictive programming in the movie. The entire plot of the movie is about Jay and Silent Bob being featured, or their characters being featured in a major Hollywood production, and in the beginning of the movie, they find out that a bunch of people are on the internet talking shit about them and giving them bad reviews. So their entire motivation for the entire movie is for them to go to Hollywood to either stop the movie from being made so that people can no longer give them bad reviews on the internet. Now, when the movie was first produced in 2001, internet censorship wasn't really a big topic, and we can kind of see how it's much more relevant today, 18 years later. Now, the subplot of the movie is also interesting because it features a group of pretty much sexy co-ed college-age girls who seemingly are environmental activists, but in actuality, they're domestic terrorists and thieves who want to redistribute wealth to women. So that's also an interesting subplot or subtext to the whole movie. Now, the movie itself is pretty funny, especially if you're from New Jersey. It's definitely funny, but the plot and the text of the movie, or the context of the movie, is definitely interesting when you look at things now, and how, especially, I guess, a kind of sequitur from this is the fact that Kevin Smith apparently was friends with Stan Lee, and in fact, Stan Lee was scheduled to be in the new reboot of Jay and Silent Bob, which he's not, obviously, now. But it's very interesting, especially with the connections with Marvel and the new Captain Marvel movie, and we see what Kevin Smith predicted in the Jay and Silent Bob movie is happening now in real life. That basically celebrities are going out of their way to make sure that the peons cannot negatively comment on their movie productions. And in fact, that's the kind of conclusion of the movie, is that Hollywood steals a lot of plots, characters, and storylines from artists that don't get paid for them, and they either redo old plots and old characters, or they just outright steal them from lesser known artists and don't reimburse them. And the more interesting point was that Jay and Silent Bob realized that instead of stopping the production of the movie, they could take all the profits from the movie and then use that to travel around the country and beat up every single person that left a negative review about their film. So in 2001 didn't really make a lot of sense. But in 2019, that seems to be exactly what's going on. So either Kevin Smith is a predictive genius, or possibly maybe he's in with the Hollywood people and he knows what they're thinking and what they're trying to push onto the public. And so I just thought it was very interesting because it's definitely more relevant now than it was in 2001. So really, that's all I had to say about that movie. And maybe you'll watch it, maybe you won't. I just thought it was kind of interesting. So have a good day and go MGTOW.